Yes, people, what's going on? And welcome back to another Drifty TV exclusive. This is a little something I'm going to try and do as often as I can, people. So I hope you enjoy. Just be a little quick video where I go through the upcoming fixtures and I just give my take on what I think will happen in these games. This is Premier League based, obviously. Every now and again, I might do it with other games, big clashes in other leagues. But obviously the bread and butter, the home is where it's at. It's the Premier League. Now, obviously, with Liverpool and Chelsea playing in the cup final, any games that they would have been having would have been postponed. For example, the Tottenham game, which gives Chelsea conveniently a whole week to chill and relax and get ready for the cup final while we had to play midweek against Luton. But it is what it is. We moved. But yeah, let's get into it, people. So I'm going to start with the games as they're happening, really, chronological order, so to speak. I'm starting on a Saturday. Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Crazy game based on what it means. If you look at the table, both of these teams are in trouble. I think Burnley are done. I think Burnley will go down. Their form going into this is horrendous. They have 3 losses and 2 draws in their last 5 games. They're not doing well at all. Crystal Palace are obviously, above them in the league. Points-wise, there's quite a massive gap. There is Crystal Palace on 25 points, Burnley are on 13. But obviously, Crystal Palace can't only just look at Burnley because Luton are on 20. Everton are also on 20. Crystal Palace are not safe. Obviously, they've made some changes in that. Let's see if that works. But, you don't know until you see it happening. But they are at home. I think they will probably be able to get it done. Burnley are kind of bad, even though Burnley played well against Anfield. Like, they are bad. I'm going to go 1-0 Crystal Palace. I'm going to go 1-0 Crystal Palace for that one. Aston Villa at home to Nottingham Forest. Generally speaking, Aston Villa have a good home record. Has been in question a little bit recently, to be completely honest. But generally speaking, they do have a good home record. They don't come into the game in great form, though. They have 1 draw, 2 losses, 2 wins in their last 5 games, sitting on 4th, 49 points. Tottenham, 2 points behind them. Obviously not playing this weekend. Man United are 5 points behind them. So Man United really and truthfully should get top 4, in my opinion. And I'm not even saying that to put any pressure on. I just think they should. I think their form is on the up and Villa's is on the down. Villa also have the Europa League to concentrate on when it comes back. So yeah, I think everything's in Man United. And it'll be such a crazy season for Man United to get 4th. After all the madness, Man United just gonna get 4th. How crazy would that be, seriously? But as for this game, I am going to go Forest. They're desperate. They're not coming into this in good form at all. 3 losses, 1 win, 1 draw in their last 5. Obviously, their last game was a win, though. I'm gonna go 2-0 Villa. I'm gonna go 2-0 Villa. I think Nottingham Forest will put up a fight, but in the end, Villa will just get the win. I'm gonna go 2-0 Villa for that one. Man United also playing at 3 o'clock, as I was just talking about. Fulham do have a little bit of a depleted team. Man United obviously struggling at left back at the moment with the news of Shaw. But other than that, they're purring at the moment. Can't even front. Enemy or no enemy, love them or hate them. This preview show was always going to be unbiased. They are 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5. That's tremendous form. That form is actually only matched by Arsenal and Man City. Even Liverpool's form isn't as good as that because we obviously lost the game to Arsenal. So Man United, second best team form-wise in the league at the moment. You have to respect that. You really have to respect that. Again, they're at home. I think they put it on Fulham. I think 3-0. I'm going to say 3-0. I think Man United absolutely put it on Fulham. 3-0. Brighton, Everton. Oh, Everton, eh? Brighton not even come into this in the best form, though. Their last game was a win, convincing one, but they are only 2 wins and 2 losses and 1 draw in their last 5. So they're not exactly on the greatest of form, but they're still obviously playing okay. And we know they are a good team. Everton, almost one of the worst forms in the league. 4 draws and a loss. So obviously they have picked up 4 points, but no wins. Whereas Brentford, for example, they've only got 1 win, 4 defeats, but there was a win in there, and obviously winning is still a key ingredient here. Everton haven't won in 5 games. You're getting the points for the draws, and don't get me wrong, in the relegation battle, every single point counts, so they'll take that. But how long can they keep that up for is the question. This is one of them games that could easily be a fluke victory. But I personally am going to go with a Brighton 2-0 win. I think Brighton should get the job done. But I wouldn't be surprised if I found out Everton got a win or a draw. Just pure desperation, backs to the wall. Somehow they pulled it off. You know, one of them ones. The 5:30 game on the Saturday is Bournemouth versus Man City. And even though it's away, Bournemouth again, terrible form. Bournemouth are the complete opposite to what they were a few months back when they were playing really, really well and they looked good, and that's how they climbed up the table. They're going into this game, it's 3 draws and 2 losses in their last 5. That's horrendous form. Almost as bad as Everton. In fact, you could arguably say it's worse than Everton's, to be fair, because Everton lost 1 and they've lost 2, so their form is terrible. Yes, they are at home, but this is Man City. I'm going to go 3-0 Man City for this one. Arsenal at home in the 8 o'clock game, the last game of the Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff against Newcastle. A lot of people are saying that this one could be a tricky one because Newcastle are, generally speaking, a good team. But I personally think Newcastle, with the players they have missing and stuff, won't really be able to get anything out of this one. Again, it's one of them ones a little bit like the Everton one, where if I found out Newcastle got a draw, I'd be like, okay, it's not the biggest shock in the world. Not the biggest shock in the world at all. But I do believe Arsenal, who's got the best form in the whole league, 5 wins in 5. Newcastle come into this game 1 defeat, which was 5 games ago. In their last 4 games, it's 2 draws and 2 wins. It was a win-draw. So that's not poor form by any stretch. But I think they are being pushed to their limits in terms of their squad and stuff right now. They're in a little bit of better form than they were before, though. They have picked it up a little bit because, remember, they did drop off quite dramatically when they had a really hard period in the season in terms of the teams they were playing. So they have picked it up a bit. So they're not going into this game in terrible form at all. But Arsenal are flying at the moment. And that Champions League game was a bit of a flash for me. I personally think they'll absolutely batter Porto at home. I think it'll be 3-0 at home and they'll go through 3-1 on aggregate in the Champions League game. And obviously in the Premier League, they've been packing goals. People have been saying that they have been playing against the lower teams and that's how they've been doing it. But you got to beat who's in front of you, right? They sit on 55 points, obviously 5 points behind Liverpool, but they do have that game in hand. 1 point behind Man City, same games played. Man City will definitely get the win. So Arsenal obviously have to get the win to keep up with City and keep up in the title race. A draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world. It would only mean they were 4 points behind Liverpool, which is still absolutely nothing at this stage of the season. With one of their harder games out of the way, because Newcastle at home is one of their harder games. Thankfully, they're at home for them. So they're going to want revenge for the reverse fixture. Maybe they'll concede a goal. 3-1 though. I think Arsenal will continue to score a lot of goals. I think they'll get 2 early goals. Blitz Arsenal, blitz Newcastle, be like 2-0 up in that 20 minutes. Then maybe Newcastle might get a goal after Arsenal get their third, maybe in the second half or something like that. But I definitely think Arsenal are going to blitz Newcastle in this game. And then moving on to the Sunday fixtures, as you can see, Wolves and Sheffield United. That's a big game down at the bottom of the table. Because obviously Sheffield, if they are going to get out of this at all, it's now or never. I personally don't think they will get out of it. I'm not being disrespectful, Sheffield, but I think you will finish bottom of the table and I barely see you picking up 10 points between now and the end of the season, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, in the next 13, 14 games. I don't see how you get more than 10 points. I don't. Especially when 25 games in, you've only got 13. I don't. So I think Sheffield are done. I think they're out. But now I guess it's just about pride. So it's now or never if they are going to pull off a miracle. Because mathematically, there's still no way out of it. So if they are going to pull off a miracle, they have to start now. Wolves are a funny team, innit? You just never know what is actually going to happen. And just like that crazy Sheffield victory the other day, they maybe they could, cause a bit of an upset. Wolves coming into this game, kind of crazy form. 1 draw, 2 losses, 2 defeats. Two wins, 2 defeats, sorry. Sitting 11th, quite comfortably in 11th as well, joint on points with Chelsea. I would, as a betting man, I'm going to go for the Wolves win. But again, maybe this would be one of the ones if Sheffield somehow pulled off a draw, you wouldn't be the most shocked because Wolves are a bit like that with the smaller teams. But I'm going to go 2-0 Wolves. I think Wolves will get it done. And then the Monday game, finishing off the fixtures, is West Ham at home to Brentford. Going into this game, as I said, Brentford are on horrendous form, even though, they are playing a lot better, especially their last game against Man City. They're put up a valiant effort, but they are 4 defeats and 1 win in their last 5. 4 defeats in 5 is terrible form. Absolutely terrible form. But West Ham's form might be worse. 2 draws, 3 defeats. So no wins in the last 5. At least Brentford have a win in the last 5. So it's battle of the horrendous at the moment with these two. Both teams are all over the place. And you know what, guys? Call me crazy. I think Brentford win this. I look at the way Brentford played against Liverpool and the way Brentford played against Man City, and I'm looking at how all over the place West Ham look. And even though it could easily turn around in this game for West Ham because they are at home and they do have really good players, which is so crazy they're even playing this badly, I think Brentford get the win, guys. You call me mad. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. Tony Brace. That is actually what I think will happen in this one. So, yeah. Love as always, people. Big up your damn selves. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if there's any other ideas you want for little videos like this for me to do. And also give me your predictions for the games and what you think the biggest shock of the weekend will be. Again, I think the biggest shock of the weekend is going to be Brentford-West Ham. I don't know if you can call it a shock, but I think Brentford winning away against West Ham will be the shock of the weekend. That's what I'm going for. So let me know what your shock of the weekend is, guys. And as always, please do smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm on the road to 2K, so please help me get there, guys. And love for everyone who's already shown their love and support, man. Really, really appreciate it. I really do. So until next time, people, peace!